So basically, as we all know, in the past like 1 week, we have our board results coming out, 10th standard, 12th standard. All the adults are like reassuring the kids that it's okay, it doesn't matter. So we really want to know your take on this entire thing. So we'll firstly begin with your.
10th
Let's start
standard
with your.
exams, 10th standard exams are basically not ability tracking exams. It is basically a promotional exam where a person, a student qualifies for going to college. No school principal has put a 10th standard marks on the wall of her office and has never told her students, "Dekh mera marks kitna acha hai." A 95 in 10th, you are not a hero. A 55 in 10th is not a zero because 10th does not test your talim. 10th does not test your talent. What is very important to understand that the myth around 95, 98, 85, 88, 75, 45, 55 has to be broken. The fear is admission to a good college. What is a good college? A college which has integrated JEE and NEET. A good college is a college which has a lot of extracurricular activities. There are very few colleges with extracurricular activities. So whatever you get, accept it as yours. 10th standard marks is not asked by grooms and bridegrooms who propose at the time of marriage, nor is it asked by the US consulate for a US visa. Accept your marks exactly as it is. 10th standard marks does not define your future, does not define your talent, nor your personality. Let your father and mother accept your marks and let your parents throw a party, whatever marks you get. There should be no shame on behalf of parents about the marks. Accept your child first. Remember, you have given birth to the child without the mark sheet. The child has not come out of your womb by showing a mark sheet that he or she behaved well in the womb. So that is very important.
Okay. So our first question is, so like let's start with your journey. So how were you as a student when it came to like exams and stress?
I was average. I was extremely good in maths and science. So I managed to get 75% in the 10th. And those days, 75 I was in the first three in my school. And I chose to go to the nearest college. I did not go to the so-called branded colleges because I believe that I am the brand, not the college. So I went to Parle College, which is known as Sate College, because it was closest to my house. I did not go to Mitibai, Jain, HR. So it made no difference because I was sure what I was supposed to be doing in the future. And that I think was very important. So go to the nearest college, save time on travel, save time on having your meals, get more time. The syllabus of HSC or commerce, science and arts is very limited. You can do it yourself largely. There are no need for any tuitions. So don't get
So
anxious.
did you take any stress
No.
when you were a student?
Well. Of course. Stress was always there in the sense stress is necessary to do well in your exams. Stress is necessary to do well in your exams, which means you absorb more when you have eustress, EUSTRESS. Healthy stress is necessary. But what was important was we were dedicated, committed, and focused because we had fire in the stomach. Children now have pizza in the stomach. And a lot of kids are also very dedicated, extremely focused. Extreme focus, complete commitment to your goals will see to it that you'll get your goals. Keep option B always ready in college and in your career.
Okay, so I want to know the attitude of your fellow peers about exams and
Those
stress.
days we came from poor families. There was only one thing that was knowledge. Our parents told us that knowledge was power, education was power. And we realized that our property can be snatched, our homes can be snatched, our boyfriends can be snatched, girlfriends can be snatched, husband or wife can be snatched, but knowledge nobody can steal. That is power. And that is something you need to acquire and you can achieve that at that age. हिंदी में एक बहुत बड़ी कहावत है, पढ़ाई और पहलवानी का एक उम्र होता है, निकल गई तो गई. We were very focused and that was very important. We had very less distractions. We had no phones, we had no games, we had no WhatsApp, we had no Facebook, we had no Twitter. So a large number of distractions which occur now were absent. So we were very focused.
So do you think that all of these distractions add to the stress that students these days face?
I think so, but at the same time, the kids of now also are very focused. They're very confident, more than what we were. A large number of them know exactly what they have to do, and large number of them have clear choices of their careers, and the number of careers have increased now. Though people say that the competition has increased, but the cake of options also has increased, and the number of careers which are available now are very high. Awareness of different careers are also very high. During my times, we only knew engineering and medicine. We did not even see public service exams. We never knew. We did not know what was IAS, IPS, IRS. As of now, there are a million careers, and I think the kids of now are very lucky that the range and the options are too many for them.
Okay, so given today's scenario, like there is extremely, I mean, the difference from your day and today's day is also the additional distractions, but also the competition has increased and the rat race has gone to another level. So how do you think this affects the stress? And this stress, how do you think, how much percent of this stress do you think leads to mental disorders? Because it is highly
I
said that mental disorders are common in children in this age range.
I
So
think I think I think what has changed is education has become expensive. The options are big, but the middle class is also big, and they can afford that education. Number two also is that the stress has increased because families have no time with the children. There are only one child in the family. Joint families are less. There are more nuclear families. I saw my father and mother at home at 5:30. My parents were at home early. My kids see me at 10:30, at 11. So the emotional connectivity between the family members have gone down. The emotional contact time has gone down. The family contact has gone down. Long working hours and exhausted, tired parents also cause a lot of stress. Also, the entire system of reservations has also caused a lot of stress to a large number of students. And a globalized world has brought a lot of good things from the West and a lot of bad things from the West. So the stress is there, and we find that as of now, the age of onset of depression has gone down. The age of onset of substance abuse, drug addiction has gone down. The age of onset of taking alcohol has gone down. The age of onset of, of first date has gone down. And age of onset of the first suicide attempt has gone down. Globalization, industrial revolution has caused a lot of stress. Let's take an example of Korea. In 1970, the suicide rates of Korea were very less. Korea is an industrialized country. It has everything what an industrialized country should have. But the suicide rates corrected to the growth of population has increased. So globalization is one of the biggest causes of stress, as much as it is a cause for technology. There have been a lot of advances, but along with the advances, there are a lot of stress because the most important thing is globalization has caused disconnection. People do not connect as well as they can, as intensely as they can. And there's no time to sit and share feelings. There's only time to ask, एग्जाम्स कभी है, कब रिजल्ट्स है, आगे तुम क्या करोगे. So that's the cause of stress.
okay, thank you. Where do you think, so now this exam stress and exam related disorders, so obviously it doesn't just happen suddenly. So where do you think in along that path that students and parents are somewhere going wrong that's relating to this kind of like,
I don't think we should find a cause in parents or students. The world has changed. The world has changed. CEO or security guard, they work for 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day. So long working hours, financial issues, small families, poor contact time has caused a stress in the system, which is so important for us to accept. So mental illness starts very early, approximately around the age of 14, and it can lead to mental illness in adulthood. Also, let's accept that the brain has not changed its size, shape, color, texture, chemistry, and volume, and depression has increased. So what's the cause? Environment has changed, and I think that is one of the most important factors for increased stress.
okay. And so sometimes students, there are students still who are dedicated, who work really hard and they still fail to get their results some way or the other. This leads to some kind of loss in confidence. So what do you think happens to them? Like, how do you think they should deal with it? Will it affect their future somehow?
If they are dedicated, committed, persistent, have patience and perseverance, success will come to them, if not today, tomorrow. If they want to do something very badly and if they don't get, see that they have option number 2 ready. Say, for example, you
Okay.
want to enter medicine, but you did not get medicine. You get pharmacology, you get physiotherapy. Do that to the best of your abilities. Be the best in that field. And that I think is very important. The satisfaction will be always there when you try and do your best. When you do your best, achievements always come yesterday, today, or tomorrow. That I think is very important. So whatever you have, whether you want to start a shop of shoes, whether you want to start an art gallery, whether you want to be a doctor, an artist, a painter, an actor, a lawyer, a psychologist, a counselor, a teacher, whatever you do, put your heart and soul in it so that you deliver the best. And that I think is very, very important.
Okay. So sometimes, like you said, you should have a backup plan, right? But there are some students who live their entire life with only one thought in mind, that they want to get into, say, an IIT. And when that doesn't work out, your entire like plan is shattered. So, and that leads to a lot of anxiety and such related disorders. So, how would you like? What
I
kind of
don't
advice?
think you might dream to go into an IIT, but IIT has not offered much to India. It has offered a lot to the Western countries. We are preparing a lot of graduates to go to the West so that they can serve the United States of America, etc. Number two, after engineering, what do? A large number of them sell soap after they do their MBA. I met a few IITians who want to really sell as much coke in India as they would sell to Mexico. I don't have an Indian MRI machine. I don't have an Indian CT scan machine. I don't have an Indian pulse oximeter. And years ago, I am a farmer. I don't have a mechanized plow. I want engineers to do engineering work and not
Okay.
sell soaps. So I don't think IIT has contributed anything to my country. So if you don't get IIT, do something else. Remember, the chief of Microsoft did not pass out from IIT. He passed out from a college in Karnataka. So no big shakes. Try your best. If you get in, fine. If not, see an alternative and put your heart and soul into your work. Remember, the college is not the brand. You believe that you are the brand, and I think that belief in you is the most important.
Okay. So earlier you gave your opinion on 10th standard exams. So what is your opinion on the current like entrance exams and the related and 12th standard exams?
I think there has to be an exam, but I'm against entrance exams for medicines and engineering. Have a lot of colleges. Let anybody wants to do medicine should be allowed to do medicine. There should be some form of screening because entrance exams don't test the the overall ability of the child. It tests one ability to answer multiple choice. I don't think it's the right method to choose kids for medicine. Even there has been a lot of criticism of JEE exams also. I would say that there should be enough colleges for people to choose what they want to do. If they're not good, they'll be thrown aside. No harm at all. So the options should be many, and entrance exams really do not test the ability of the child to choose medicine or not.
Okay. Thank you. So what message would you like to give the students who are and like who are either preparing for the exams, who've just gotten their result? Like, what would you advise them to do?
Because between the 10th and the 15th, or if you are doing your engineering, it is the 17th, or if you're doing your medicine, it's the 17th. If you're doing a BSc IT, it's the 15th. These 5 years after the age of 15, 5 to 10 years are very important. Put your best foot forward in acquiring skills, not only core skills of a subject, but soft skills, life skills, which means how would you relate to your employees, your peers? How would you understand what self-awareness is? How would you relate to yourself? How do you manage your emotions in a crisis? and how would you deal with a major crisis? So focus on soft skills as well as on core skills of your education. Focus on that completely. Falling in love is important, but it's not as important as gathering core skills. वो पढ़ाई क्या है, वो प्यार क्या है जिससे पढ़ाई का त्याग करना पड़े. So focus on skills, everything else will fall into place.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Anything else you would like to say that concludes our interview?
I would say India is on the threshold of a great tomorrow, and you are its architects. Corona will come, it will go. There is a period of uncertainty, accept it. There will be trouble for some time, accept it. But India will emerge stronger in the 21st century, and there'll be a lot of opportunities. But you may have to face frustrations. Sometimes your mother might shout at you, stay alive. Your father might shout at you, stay alive. Your friends might leave you, stay alive. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend might ditch you, stay alive. Your husband or your wife might leave you, stay alive. You might get a job, stay alive. Maybe thrown out of a job, stay alive. Come what happens, stay alive and focus. That's the only message I would like to give to all children. Life is precious. The best product of the Almighty God, and nobody has a right to harm his body or mind, or nobody has a right to take one's own life or somebody else's life. Life is precious, stay alive.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that concludes it. Thank you for agreeing to come on.
Thank you.
This interview.
Thank you.
We
All
will.
the best. Dear
We'll just
guys,
take a
love